Welcome back to your MATLAB mentor, where MATLAB turns math into motion. Let's go smarter, not harder. Opening up a new episode. Today we will continue our talking about plotting, but we're gonna take plotting to totally different level. So please make sure you already watched the last episode because everything is just depend on each other, especially with plotting, because last episode we already explained plotting, but now we're gonna take plotting to a next level. So without any wasting of time, let's begin. I just do recommend again and again, please have your MATLAB open, your laptop with you, taking notes as we go, and try everything by your own hands because this is the only way of learning. So let's begin. Today we're gonna take a concept which is I would call the marker company, and I'm gonna explain why I said this. So as we are saying, it's about plotting, so let's make our x-axis in the beginning. So let's make the x-axis from negative pi colon pi over 10 colon pi. We should now be very familiar with what this means, but I'm gonna explain real quick. So negative pi means the start, pi over 10, which is approximately gonna be like 0.34. This is the step. And finally, pi is the end. So again, for everyone who don't know, we're gonna start with negative pi, we're gonna end with pi. Pi over 10 or 0.34, this is the step. It means like we're gonna go from negative pi to pi with the points that the points or the value will increase by 0.34 every single time. So it's gonna increase by 0.34 until it reaches to pi. And this is our x-axis. Good to go? Sweet. So let's make the y-axis to be tan sine x minus sine tan x. This is very interesting. This is just element-wise operation. And we did explain this in the first episode. Please make sure you already saw it. And it's just like this code or this line is just for how we're gonna see our plot, because our plot will be kind of interesting. So let's call this like figure maybe 1. Let's see, plot as usual, x, y. So x, y, and then like MATLAB expect us to now like starting with the line style or the color, marker symbol or marker size. So like it's always plotting x-axis, y-axis, and then the more specification of how our plot would be. So right now let's make it like underscore underscore, and this is just like we are cutting the way, instead of writing line style and then underscore underscore, we're just gonna write it right away, and then gs, we're gonna explain it as we go. But now let's try dot dot dot. Okay, this some are new things. So under the double underscore, it just means the line style. Okay, G is green, and S is the square. What this means? So S, I said what we are gonna explain marker company, right? Because S is our CEO, and CEO have 3 employers. Let's first, like we have two underscore, so we have line style. So, and those three dots means I'm gonna continue on the same code or on the same line, but I'm gonna use different line. It just as like to be continued, I'm telling MATLAB this line will be continue but in the next line. So these three dots, when it's are blue, then I'm good to go and I can write the next line as a continue for the first line. So let's do this. Now let's write like line width. So line width, then 2. Let's do the same thing. Now I'm also good to go. I can write the next line. Okay, the first employer, marker size. Let's see something like 10. Okay, comma, also same thing. Next employer, marker age color. Let's make this blue, which is B. Also, comma, 3 dots. Marker face color. Then let's open brackets. Let's try 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. And then let's close it. Let's see what we can get after all of this. There is a lot to explain, but we got error. So let's see why. Error in the third line. Line number 9. Expect the error from here. Maybe we did, yes. So this is very good to know because like this not line style. So if we press here, if we press line, style, and then I press comma, you're gonna give me other options, but he do expect to be not underscore but this one. Now if we press run, here we go, the graph returns back. So here it doesn't always appear the recommendation because we are writing in this way, the 3 dots. But how I would know whether I'm on the right track, whether I'm not, whether like this is G means green or S means the square. I already like showed this in the last episode, but let's make sure we are following this. So help plotting, and this how I can ask for help. Let's see the documentation, and by the way, all the content I always like do prepare, it will come from MATLAB help, because for many college students when they are taking their exams, they are able to use MATLAB help. So if you are preparing from MATLAB help, your resource is what you are studying from, which is very powerful from here. Okay, so this is the marker, and this is CEO of any company. So when we are saying marker size, marker edge color, marker face color, any of these elements must exist in our code in order to use any of those functions. So anything related to marker, I have to choose any of this. So we use S, which is square, and this is what we get in MATLAB. Square, right? Because just we used S. We can use O, like MATLAB help give us O, like if we want to use this, we can. And instead, it's gonna be circular. So MATLAB Help Center, and I mentioned last video that we have to pick like 3 favorites. This is the marker. This is the line style. It's very good that I write underscore, but in fact it should be just this dashed line, because this is how like line style. So if I do have an error in anything, I can go and check back. But we already covered line style, so I don't want to spend too much time, but I want to cover the marker today. So as I said, if we saw any of those elements, this is gonna be the CEO. And returning back, any CEO has employer. The first employer, marker size. The marker size is the size of the circle, which now is the O. So he's just responsible for increasing or decreasing the size of the circle. So right now, if I press 20 and I run it, we have this. The circle increasing a lot. Okay, so, or I can make it 5. Now it's decreasing a lot. So marker size, the first employer is just responsible for the size of my marker, regardless what symbol I'm gonna choose. Marker edge color, okay, is very powerful. That MATLAB, any function from MATLAB is derived from explaining what the function do. Marker edge color. So it's the color of the edge of our marker, the color of our CO. So the edges of the squares, this is the color of the edge of the square. So right now it's blue, but if I press like G, and as I mentioned, MATLAB help, now it's green. But if I press blue, it gonna turn back to the blue. Okay. MarkerFaceColor. This is very interesting because MarkerFaceColor, it means what's the color of the inside, what's the colors that gonna fill out my circle or my square. So right now it's gray. From where the gray came from, or what this means, like 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Okay guys, now it's time for starting an art session, because this is literally an art session. 0.5 is something called RGB triplet. This powerful function in MATLAB, and I can use it whenever in any context in my codes related to colors, whether I'm coding for plotting, graphs, anything related to colors, I can use RGB triplet. Okay, what this means also. So okay, just like brackets, okay, 3 numbers. Basically RGB is abbreviated for red, green, blue. And it's art class because it just mean like 0.5, okay, of red plus 0.5 of green plus 0.5 of blue give me gray. And this is how MATLAB calculates them. We don't have, if we went to the search documentation for plotting, we won't see gray. So I can just create my own custom color using the mixing of those 3 colors, red, green, and blue, and here how I can do them. So let's try different colors, like let's try 0.2, 0.6 blue, and let's increase the 0.6 green, and let's increase the blue by 0.8. So 0.2 red, 0.6 green, 0.8 blue. Let's see what color we get. It's like a sky blue. Okay, let's try a different thing, like what if we 0.9 red, 0.4, 0.1. I want you guys to imagine like you have actually like colors and you are start mixing them with this portion. Actually, you're gonna have this color eventually with just the 3 colors. And whoever like very good in drawing and he used like growing up drawing or something, he gonna understand this. Like if you don't have the color, you can like mixing this up and you're gonna have this color. So let's see what we can get here. It's orange. So it's good to know, like also taking notes of this, because this mixes like give you those specific colors. Let's try the last one, maybe 0.1, 0.7, 0.3. It's green. So yeah, it's very powerful. It's called RGB template, and this is how it goes. So it's very good to know. And also like recap very quick, as we said, markers I cannot use marker without having my CEO. So if I don't have O, I'm gonna have nothing of this makes any different for me with just by removing the O, which is our CEO. By the presence of the CEO, all the employers gonna work, gonna have a work and gonna have a job and actually gonna make an impact. If I remove the CEO, all my employers will be undeployed, having no job, just the plot. No error, but also no meaning. So that's why I'm gonna like explain the marker company, and this is how you can like remember it. So any marker, you have to check that you have any marker symbols that we saw in the help documentation. Okay, so let's return maybe to square, and let's return this to gray and move on. Maybe orange, no, it's gray, it's fine. Okay, now let's begin another topic, which is plot duration and specify TickFormat. Okay, what this means? Okay, so by default, before starting any plot, we have to make the x-axis. So, but this time let's call it something like T or C equal 0. This time let's write seconds. Let's type minutes, duration in minutes, 3. So as the title is saying, is duration, so it's related to time. And I do love MATLAB because the instructions or the description of every function goes long way and can help you without even like search documentation or anything. So C now is 0, second 30, and minutes 3. Okay, what this means also, like it's just the same format but different like, I mean maybe words, but same concept. So let's comment here. 0 is the start, 30 seconds, let's S for seconds, is the step, 3 minutes is the end. I think you guys are pretty confident now, like explaining this. So we're gonna start with 0, from 0 to 3 minutes, and from this time we're gonna start increasing by 30 seconds. So like imagine if you are on road trip from 0 to 3 minutes, and every 30 seconds you have to go to a specific gas station or like take a break in a hotel or something. So 0, 30 seconds, 30 seconds to 1 minute, 1 minute, 30 seconds, like, and then 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds until you reach to 3 minutes. So this gives me 7 duration vectors, like 7 duration vector. And if I try to run this, it's C, but I wanna see this in the command window. Here we go. So 0, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 120, 150, which is like this 1 minute 30, 2 minutes, 2 minutes 30, 3 minutes, 7 duration seconds. So this is my x-axis, and then y-axis equal rand. Looks familiar, right? We explained rand in the first episode. However, don't remember, it just means random number. Okay, so I'm telling MATLAB, give me random number between 0 and 1. Okay, in a matrix that has 1 row with 7 columns. So random number between 0 and 1 in format of one row with 7 columns, and this will be my y-axis. Why I said 7 not 6? Because I have 7 vector duration. What if it was 6? Then I can write 6, but if I write 8, I think I will get an error because it will be this match, and we can try this. So yeah, y, but I also wanna see my y here. Yes, so one row, 7 columns. This is a row, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns. And as I said, random number between 0 and 1, like everything is just within 0 reaching to 1. Even it doesn't reach 1 because it has to be between. Okay, good to go so far. Let's plot then. Okay, so as I said, my x-axis now will be C. My y-axis, MATLAB recommendation, also goes a long way, I love this, will be y. Then duration tick format minute seconds. This looks new for us, right? Okay, what this means, DurationTickFormat, it just, I'm telling MATLAB that my x-axis, I want my x-axis to be in minutes and seconds format. Just my x-axis. It's called the DurationTickFormat, and please, you guys have to take notes of this because you don't know which project you will work on in MATLAB or what the usage is, but definitely you guys will need this at any moment. And DurationTickFormat, and then you are specify minutes to seconds. You can specify other time like hour, days, but now it's minutes and seconds. And if we run now, here we go, it gives me for the x-axis 0, and then like start from 0 seconds basically, and then 30 seconds, 1 minute, 1 minute 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 2 minutes 30 seconds till 3. And this also explain our line here, which is C. This is very powerful from MATLAB. Like as I said, this could be used in different ways. Like imagine if you are finance person and you are using this, and like this could be super relevant to like stocks or something like that, how stocks like increasing or decreasing by the time. So like literally by just 3 minutes a stock can increase or decrease. This is finance. What if you are using this for sports, like something like basketball? You can make a chart or a plot on how like many points for every 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, entire game, and start like comparing the performance of each team. So this is very powerful, and this is very good for MATLAB because I don't think any other like programming language can has like x-axis to be in the format of time in this way. And you can like change this like 30 seconds to any other seconds. You can just like format it as you want. So this was one of the best tools you can ever use in MATLAB. Okay, moving on. Please guys, feel free to leave any questions in any comment. If anything is not clear, feel free to use like our how we can find help, like make sure to review the help documentation for plotting. Make sure to ask questions, and the answer is always will be there. Okay, moving on. Now we're gonna explain something called tiled layout, and this very powerful option and is very brand new too. So okay, without anything, just let's start. Let's explain x equal line space generate linearly spaced vector between 0 and 3. So the default of line space is always 100, like this n, okay, n, the default is always 100. So I don't have, like, if I didn't write 100, it's gonna be always 100. So it just, I'm now saying to MATLAB, I want a 100 evenly spaced values between 0 and 3. So right now my x-axis will be between 0 and 3, and the plot will go 100 points between this 0 and 3. Okay, so this is the default of this, or x for line space is might be more default for, like, specify the x-axis. Okay, right now let's specify the y-axis. Y equals sine 5 multiplied by x. No, thank you. Y2 equal maybe sine 15 multiplied by x. Then tile layout, so create tile chart layout for displaying subplots. I love this description because displaying subplots, but without using subplots, by using tile layout. After I do finish this code, we're gonna make small comparison why I should use tiled layout or why I should use subplots, what's the difference between them. We're gonna go through this. Now I'm gonna specify, so positive whole number of rows. Okay, so number of rows of my plots. So how many plot will be in the form of rows? So let's see for now to number of columns, also positive whole number, 1. So I'm telling MATLAB with tiled layout, I just wanted 2 rows in 1 column. So right now I must have 2 plots. Okay, so just let's start, like, it just create 2 rows with 1 column. So I do expect, let's make a comment here, 2 plots will be vertically displayed. Okay, so top plot, this is how I can use tiled layout. I have to specify that this plot will be my next tile. Create axis in tiled chart layout. Okay, so next tile, it just means that I'm telling MATLAB and I'm telling my tile function that the next plot I'm right now coding, it will be my top plot. It just, like, think about next tile as it's just who will come first, who will come last, which position each plot will be, because it has to be, like, as you are, like, reserving the place or the position of your each plot. So I'm just saying this plot will be my top plot. That's why ax1 equal next tile. And then let's make plot as you specify, like, tiled layout, like, this is a function if you do have more than 1 plot. So if you're gonna write plot or anything, you have to specify which plot is this. Okay, so right now I specify that ax1 will be my next tile. So if I am using plot, I have to write ax1 in the beginning to tell MATLAB that, okay, this plot, I mean by this plot, like, this code will be to this plot. Good to go. Then x, then y1. Oh, that's why I did y1. Okay, now this makes sense, yes. So that's why I make y1. Then, let's see. So yeah, he expect another figure here, so let's keep going. I'm just showing you guys how the tile layout will be. Okay, let's make it more, like, decent. Let's make title. Same thing, title. Now he expect target because it's now tile. So if I'm using tile layout, you do expect to like see which plot is this. So let's make title maybe like top plot. Semicolon, semicolon. Also like X label. Yes, AX1. Let's make only Y label. We don't need X labels that much now. Because X will be the same, it just Y will change. So Y label AX1 sine 5x. Close parentheses. So now if I go back, now it's top plot, now it's sine 5x. I don't like the width, so if here we press comma, maybe font size, it give me the default 11. The default, I didn't like my default, so I will say maybe 15. If we get back, it's increased. Okay, so this is my top plot, and as we are seeing, it's here in the top plot. Because I do expect 2 rows. So 2 rows means whatever plot will exist here gonna be the top plot. Okay, and whatever plot I will write now gonna be my bottom plot. Okay, as I said, I have to tell MATLAB which plot I'm gonna write, so I'm gonna make just AX2, same sequence like nexttile. I'm gonna say plot AX2 with X, but this time with Y2, which is sine 15. Title, same thing, I have to specify which plot I'm using, so it's AX2 X, AX2, and then I'm gonna write bottom plot, and then Y label, same sequence, but this time AX2, comma, then what's my Y label? I wanna write it sine 15x, and let's make the font size to be 15. Okay, here we go. So this sine x with font size 15, bottom plot, top plot, sine 5x. Super powerful tool. It's there is another function called subplot. It's kind of the same, but this is way better. And we can customize, like we can keep going from there. Like, let's see if I do wanna like make this something like maybe plus, can't be all plus, or maybe any line of style I do want, it can be like that. I can specify here's the color, I can write color, maybe, but here he do expect to see this default with a RGB template as we go. So instead of doing this, I can write color like here and just press blue, or I can write it as we saw last time. Now it's blue, so I can specify, I can create legend as we did the last episode. I can go from there, but I wanna more customize here. What if I wanna now like 3 rows, with one column. How this will looks like? It's gonna be 3 plots. Now it will be just 3 plots, but will be vertically displayed. So 3 plots, if this is how it will go, I have to have y3. Let's make y3 be equal cosine x. Okay, because this is what makes all the plots are different. Okay, so it's gonna be first row, second row, and third row. So right now, this won't be the bottom plot. This will be center plot. Because it goes in like arranging order, right? Like I just said, AX2 will be the next tile. So this will be center. And here's what I can do. I can just like copy all of this without wasting any time and just editing this. AX is 3, AX3, 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 also this Y3. Instead of center plot, this will be bottom plot. And instead of sine 15x, just making cosine x. Let's see what we can get. Okay, this is what we get. It's kind like looks kind different for cosine, but this is a bottom plot, as this is how it looks like. Now it's 3 columns, which 3 rows with just 1 column, and this one AX2, like it goes in arranging order. Top plot, okay, AX1, which is like here, the title is top plot, and this is in fact the top plot. Center plot, AX2, center plot, and then bottom plot, AX3. Okay, let's take this one more next level. What if I wanna 2 and 2? 2 rows in 2 columns. So this is how it will go. Like we can also like do something kind similar to what we did. Okay, same sequence. So I have to add y4 equal maybe now sine 25 multiplied by x semicolon, and I can just copy this. Okay, I want to leave the arrangement for now, but let's first edit all of this. So AX4, 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 Y4, and this will be sine 25x sine 25x. Okay, what's the order right now? So 2 rows with 2 columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how we can expect it. But how they arrange it, how MATLAB will arrange this, gonna be the first plot will be top left, then arranging order the second plot, but it increase horizontally, not vertically. So like 1, 2, so this first one will be top left, then top right, then like 3, this bottom left, and the last one will be bottom right. Like it does increase this way. 1, 2. Okay, this is the first row, and then like second row will be 3, and I can write it vertically, but let's editing and see how it's gonna give me. So this top left, let's write here top left. Now it's top right, just the next plot ascending order, top right, and instead of center plot, let's write top right. then bottom left, bottom left, and then bottom right, bottom right. Okay, if I want to run right now, oh, it's already here. Okay, yeah. So top left plot, top right plot, bottom left plot, bottom right plot. As I want, what I want to say that it like the plots increase in this order. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is next plot will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Increase horizontally. So the first one, second one, third one, fourth one. Okay. So as I mentioned before, like I'm gonna say why we should use tiled, or what's the difference between tiled layout and subplot, because many of you guys know subplot. So tiled layout is very new function. Actually, it was in the R2000, like this R2000 2024 version, but tiled layout got presented in R2019 B version, and it was is very modern than subplot. For sake of having consistent spacing and alignment, you can share titles in the tiled layout, not in subplot, and the margins and paddling as so. What I mean by paddling? I wanna like explain this more in depth. There's something called paddling in the tiled layout. Paddling is just like you're gonna control the space around the entire layout, and something else called tile spacing, which is also controls the space, but instead of the entire layout, you're gonna control it between the tiles plot. This feature doesn't exist in subplot. It does just exist in the tiled layout. So let's try to see this how it will go. So if you want to edit this, here we go. He gave me the option. So padding, and he gave me like it can be compact, it can be tight, it can be loose. Let's say now it's compact, and then tile spacing, and let's see. I can change as much as I can. And what I do mean, like right now, it's kind now loose because here we said it's gonna be loose. So we can see each single tile has a lot of space away from each other. What if I wanna change this, and this is string by the way, to be none, like no tile spacing? Gonna looks like that. So padding, I can change this to be maybe loose. I'm gonna contradict each other in some way, but tile spacing will win. But it's just very powerful. If we make tight, the entire layout now is way tighter, like for sake of x-axis and y-axis. But so yeah, I can change as much as I want. If I press loose, we can see in the entire layout is way now looser. So all of this function doesn't exist in subplot, and also subplot, if you do have many plots, the quality will be a little bit blurry. Okay, the resolution won't be that good, but tiled layout is actually like doing a very great job of like representing all these plots in this way. So it's very important to know the technique, and it's very easy to like insert many plots. You just have to mention which plot, like AX3 or nexttile. Once you are doing this with title y label, you can make legend, and also just before any function you would use, just to press AX3. So yes, this is what I want to explain, because it's way powerful and very important to use. Finally, it's time for our mini assignment. Okay, this episode mini assignment will be produce a professional to multiply by 2 figure that displays 4 creative style signals. I do expect to like just editing as you want, do your own thing with your favorite colors, try the RGB template, try and apply everything that we did today. Okay, just I don't expect like something hard or anything like that, like including the things that we've been through today, like marker customization, the marker company, as I said, duration formatting, and tiled layouts. So please feel free to do this mini assignment. We have reached to the end of our episode. Make sure that you did right and tried everything by your own. As I said, trying this by your own hands, trying and have errors. I was having an error in the beginning, and then I figured out, okay, instead of underscore, I did write underscore instead of minus. So this is how I do learn. This is how you will learn. This is how any programmer will be a good programmer, by practice. Makes your hands dirty. Like you are just, instead of watching of course is beautiful, but applying it is goes long way. And this is how you're gonna learn any programming language, because programming is about practice, and practice makes permanent. Feel free to leave any comments, any questions. I would be super happy to answer all of them. Thank you all, and see you all next episode.